Hello everybody, this is a video to share my new build for Infernal Citadel, but it's a really high DPS and super tank build. So it's really good overall, and you don't really need to switch loadout, never, with this build. So let's start. It's really good for Infernal Citadel. So for the stats, 118k power, everything is 85k and 90k for critical avoidance. I mean, it's pretty close, so the 27 points is not really anything. Accuracy and deflection are the only thing I couldn't max. I mean, accuracy it's pretty close, but I couldn't. I mean, you can use companion to upgrade it, which I will share my companion in a moment. Deflection, since I'm using Caprice, I don't really need to put it to 85k. I mean, I don't have it maxed yet, but I can use companion to upgrade it, but I don't want to max deflection that much because I'm using Caprice and it gives a free 3%, so 80k it's like good enough. And 121k combat advantage, it's really high for a tank. It's pretty unique about this build, about like not a lot of people can manage this 121k combat advantage while having everything else like close to maxed. Awareness, like I said in the previous video, I don't think it's good. I mean, you can try to balance your combat balance to get more damage reduction, but I don't think it's worth it that much because you can just use your digging and you are immune to combat advantage pretty much, and when you use Bladed Rampart you are immune to combat advantage. So yeah, the necessity of awareness is not really there. Okay, so let's continue. Every other stats are like normal. Incoming healing 34%, but you can increase it with the companions if you want. 136.5k crit severity. And yeah. So with the gear, the most important part that everybody wants to know. For the helmet, I'm playing with the Lion Guard Raid Helm. This is the new helmet from Infernal Citadel, which you can get by having the currencies. I think it's the second boss. Yeah, you just kill the second boss like during 3 weeks, and you get 3 fire pit fiend token thing, and you can get this helmet. You can now that's why I delayed the video, because I wanted to get this chest, which takes 4 weeks of farming Infernal Citadel to get it, and I just got it, so I can start the video. So it gives like a lot of hit points. It gives me like 50k hit points, so I really like it. The gloves, the spiked glove, like a good chunk of damage is pretty good. The Infernal Forge Greave for just power. There's not really a lot of boots that can be good, but I can show you what to equip instead. Like for the helmet, you can either equip the Fancy Duelist Mask or the Bone Harvester. The Bone Harvester is pretty good on mobs, because with this build you kill a lot of targets, so you can get a lot of hit points as a shield. But in Infernal Citadel it takes a while to kill people and to kill the mobs, and the mobs deals a lot of damage to you, so you don't really see the blue shield much. But I'm pretty sure that in lower dungeons you will see the difference, and you will be invincible by having that, just killing mobs and mobs and mobs. Or like if you prefer to opt for a better, like a single target build, you can just equip the Fancy Duelist for 5k power against one enemy. But I prefer to have like 5k power when my stamina is over 75%. Like it's really equal. There's not one that is better than the other. Like the stamina in boss fights, you always run out, so you almost never have the bonus. But with the Fancy Duelist, you never have the bonus, because in mob fight there's a lot of mobs, so you don't benefit from the bonus in mobs. So it's like either of them, it's your choice. I prefer the Lion Guard. For the chest, you can equip the Clingy one. I mean, it has good stats. The bonus is not that great in PvE, it's really good in PvP, by the way. So you can equip it if you have it in your inventory. I had it for like 4 weeks just to replace it for the Lion Guard breastplate. Or if you have the seals, you can buy this one. It gives like rough stats and good defense rate. So if you are lacking defense, it's a good option. For the gloves, you can also equip the shielded defender Vembrace. It's like the tank version for the spike glove, but I prefer to do more damage. And the Armando boots, I see a lot of people saying that they are good, but the bonus, like the deflect bonus, is really inconsistent. Because if you are in a pack of mobs, you can deflect an attack, but the damage is not really that high. It can be good for Tom when all the attacks of the boss are really high damage, so you can reflect kind of a lot of damage. But overall it's too inconsistent, so I prefer to just equip the Infernal Forge Greaves just to get more power. Like 48k, 48,100 power after 2 minutes in fight. Okay, so continue. The weapon set, of course the Lion Guard set. If you don't have the Lion Guard set, I would suggest the Burnish set for Infernal Citadel, because there's a lot of things that deals a lot of damage to you. So the Burnish weapons will proc a lot. So of course Cleave 10%, Lightning like in the previous video, Demonics in all of the offensive stats except one, Tenebrious, Lion Shield with 8 points crit severity, and Radiant in all the defensive stats slots. Artifacts, I use the 4 books, and I use the Envenom book to get my daily back super fast, and it deals a lot of damage. And also I'm using the Sash of Embellishment and the neck with combat advantage on all of the things. Play with the Tanner ring and the leading ring, all demonics in all of the offensive slots. But if you don't have the Sash of Embellishment or the books, you can just play with the knives, the Trobian ring, the globe, and the music box. And I would suggest the Wyvern set, because it was the set I was using and I liked it. But you can use any other set like the globe set or the Trobian ring, or even the new set with the vial book. It's up to you. It's not really changing much. Also, like for the weapon enchant, you can I play with the lightning, but you can play with the Vorpal if you prefer. It doesn't do a lot of damage on mobs, but Vorpal overall is good for boss fight and trash mobs. Okay, continue. For the shirt and pants, of course the new ones. Like I heard that the bonus on the shirt is bugged, and instead of giving 1%, it gives 0.1% action point. But since it gives a lot of stats, I get like 4k extra, 4k hit points just by equipping it. So why not equipping it just for the stats? And the pants the same. They give pretty good stats. So yeah, overloads, greater corrupt black ice enchantment on both. But most of the time I'm not even playing with overloads, and it still does the job. Yeah. So let's continue the powers. I play with Cleave and Brazen Slash. Brazen Slash and Cleave got a buff, so I play with them. For Brazen Slash for single target and Cleave for multi-target. Bull Charge, Shield Throw, Anvil of Doom, like the usual. Second Wind, which I never use, and I always use Bladed Rampart in all the fight. Like the moment I have my daily, I just pop it because Bladed Rampart is just too powerful. I like to move fast, and I like to do damage with my At-Will. Like since this is a really high DPS build with Cleave and the Cleaving Bull feat, buffing it with combat superiority, it's like really good. So that's why I'm playing with both of them. But also in Infernal Citadel you can play with Anvil of Challenge, so you can get aggro back when the final boss kills you. Like the final boss of Infernal Citadel deals a lot of damage with the fire circle thing. For the feat, shield thrower, because I play with shield throw. It's really good for aggroing and damaging too. Living bull, of course, for the at wills, combat balance, for just some extra damage reduction. Sharpened sense just to buff bladed rampart because that's the only thing I use, which makes me invincible to combat advantage. Shake it off because retaliate is a big thing on the fighter, so use it the more you can. And retaliate is just the thing that you reflect damage like that. Okay, so that's it. The boons. You can take a screenshot. It's pretty like normal. Power, hit points, movement speed, companion influence, and other stats that match my stats. Crit severity and incoming healing. Master boon, bloodlust, pretty normal stuff. Kill boon. Crit severity boon, because the crit severity makes a lot of damage. Hit points because I'm a tank. Utility like revive sickness because in Infernal Citadel you don't use your mount. So if I die, I'm just more useful even if I die. PvP doesn't matter. Yeah, PvP doesn't matter. For the companion, that's the only thing I switched from my previous build, or like a major change. Instead of playing with the defense combat advantage gear, I'm playing with the deflection combat advantage gear. And instead of putting like deflection runestones, I equipped defense runestones in all of the defensive slots. Like the first one is the Ivy Ground Talisman for crit strike and accuracy. And I also equip a armor pen runestone because I was missing armor pen a lot. So I tweaked my stats to be able to get the armor pen up. So one armor pen, one empowered, under the empowered, so 2 empower, 1 armor pen, and 3 profane for defense. With all the stats, it balances the defense and the deflection. The enhancement, crit severity of course, because more crit means more damage. Okay, for the companions, I play with the Portal Hound, even in Infernal Citadel, because it's currently glitched. I mean, it does the 5% damage everywhere, and not only for Cabal minion, but it might be patched in the future. So I have like a lot of alternative. Like if you don't have the Portal Hound, it's not necessary because it just buffs your damage and maybe give you awareness, but that's not that good. So you can equip the Dragon Insight or the Goat for 4k deflection, because I'm missing some deflection, so you can manage to boost it with that. You can play with HP defense if you want, or just incoming healing power, or just power if you want. There's a lot of options. 8 points, crit avoidance. There's so many options. For the offense power, I play with the Zentarim Warlock because, like I said in the previous video, the offensive companion gives the 30% extra 8 points. So instead of giving you 16k 8 points, it gives you 22k, and it also gives you 4k combat advantage. It's the companion that gives the most stat overall for a tank. Okay, so I'm playing with the 8k crit avoidance because I'm missing some crit avoidance, and it's the way I found to max it. I play with the broom, the splinters, like it's a Halloween thing, so it costs a lot. If you don't want to play with it, it's no big deal. Like it just gives a 4% crit severity, so you can use, like I said, the Moon Shade Druid that gives like equal critical avoidance, but just 8 points instead if you want. And also play with the Owlbear, with it, which is really good. I like it. It reflects like a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage too. So yeah, for the mount, I play with the T-Rex because it's good to debuff the enemies, and 50k hit points because it's good to have a lot of hit points. And all my insignias are basically the same, but the only exception is I change all of my prosperities insignias to equip fortitudes. So it costs a lot. I know it's really expensive, everything that I have there. But you can just buy prosperities if you want. And maybe save for some fortitude that cannot be prosperities. Or I think it's this one. Yeah, just save for fortitude if you want, because it gives some defense and hit points, which balance perfectly my stats overall. Okay, and for the finally for the stats, strength and dexterity. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, as you can see, I have like 800k hit points and a lot of offensive stats. And so you know, Infernal Citadel, I'm doing like an average like 90 to 100 million in a 22 to 24 minute run. I know that I might not be playing with like the best in the game, but at least it does a really high amount of damage if you play it well and if you know how to maximize your positioning, like using combat advantage the more you can, and you can do a lot of damage by doing that. So, oh yeah, armor enchantment, I forgot. The Elven Battle. That's the only thing I would suggest. That just maybe Eclipse. I don't have one, so I'm just using Elven Battle. So I hope you liked the showcase, and I hope you can reproduce it if you want, and tell it to your friends. So thank you, bye bye.